identification with thought creates a feeling, and the feeling feels real. It's not real. You're the awareness of the feeling. And we always feel that somewhere in the body, which is a way that we can come back into self, come away from the story about the emotion, because that's what happens is we get this feeling that arises either because of a thought, or the feeling arises because we've pushed it down. And then the mind kind of piggybacks in on that experience. And so it doesn't just pass through, it gets recreated again and again and intensified by the thinking. So we essentially are thinking our feelings. And, feeling, when we have that, it feels like that's who and what we are, because there's an identification there. Not only are we identifying with the thought, now we are identifying with the emotion, and emotions are a little bit harder to observe than thoughts. But a way to observe an emotion is you always feel it somewhere in the body, and then that makes it a little bit more tangible. We can observe the body. And when we do that as well, for example, if you're feeling angry, you might feel it in the chest area, or anxiety sometimes in the stomach area. And as you just observe the physical sensations, exactly what that feels like, it can move, it can process, it can release. And it gets us out of our head. It's the journey from the head to the body. Because as long as we're thinking about it, some of our attention's on the thought, some of our attention's on the emotion, but we're really feeling it based on what the thoughts are saying about the emotion. So then it's distorted. It's not pure or clear. And it conjures up this whole scenario, this whole drama, which feels real. So it's almost like it pulls us into a play about ourselves. And so that is what we believe is real, because we've been doing it our whole lives. It's become so normal to do. It's not natural, but it's very normal to think our feelings and to swim in that and to resist it, because, typically when we're swimming in emotion, it becomes more and more intense. And that's what we call unpleasant or painful, as actually just intensity, because we're experiencing now through a story. There's a distortion. It's not real. It's not a pure experience. So just coming back into the body and noticing where you feel it, and you can just give it a label. For example, there's a tightness in my chest. It feels like pressure. And it stops you from thinking the story about it, and just getting curious and observing what it's like, and almost being like a chimney, letting that feeling, that sensation kind of move up and out the top of your head. Gives you kind of something to do, so you don't have the usual pattern of doing, which is thinking and recreating that feeling and resisting it, so it intensifies and becomes more and more overwhelming. And it uses up so much energy to do all of this as well. So, you imagine how much energy you free up if you can just let yourself feel, notice how you're feeling it, and it passes, The more we allow, the more gentle and easy it will be. And that's what it is in my experience. And I invite you to see if that's true for you as well. And I know for me, if I actually can allow 100%, it's gone. Poof, just vanishes in thin air. And, it's kind of like, well, where's it gone, It feels so real. And then in a blink of an eye, it can just be gone. And then you start to recognize and change your relationship with your emotions, so that they can, just flow through if they arise. And actually, if we allow 100%, then, they just vanish. And then there's just this pure state of awareness, of gentleness. It's unmoving and unchanging, so it's stable. And it's just easy and effortless. And it's so natural to simply be aware. So have a little play next time you have an emotional reaction. Where are you feeling it in the body? And, what is aware? Are you aware that you're aware? And just let it be exactly as it is. The more you allow, the more gentle it will be, and the faster it will go. See what that's like for you.